afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast Lehr with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only, Master of Propaganda, Instruction and Learning. Today's topic is going to be the Cavalry Riflemen, part of the United States Forces Mechanized Company. An infantry assault squad available from call-in at 280 manpower. They do quite a few more command points before they can be added to your forces, but overall they do perform nicely with their grease guns, and they can be upgraded with the Thompson submachine guns for increased mid but also short-range firepower, making them much more formidable infantry than the Thompson is, in effect, an assault rifle in terms of in-game stats, not actually in the actual war. Keep in mind that I'm so sure I'll miss here that one. Though you only get 2 Thompsons, still significantly increases the infantry squad's firepower here. And as you can see here, there's already one usage for the Cavalry Rifle Squad, which of course is driving around in vehicles. Like many other assault units, they do perform nicely in such open-top vehicles where they can fire out at their opponents, as they can do so safely, and of course do a lot of damage up close with their submachine guns, hunting down units and doing quite a bit of damage to them. At 5-man, the squad is also reasonably resilient to most sort of tank shots and artillery, meaning they can't easily be wiped out, which is always a bonus. As generally you want your assault infantry units to be resilient. On top of that, there is a variety of abilities available to them. You got the anti-tank satchel charge, which, if you can get them close enough, is quite devastating towards enemy vehicles. Causes a lot of damage and will in most cases cause engine damage as well. You have several cavalry riflemen. You can theoretically hit a tank with numerous satchel charges. In that case, do a lot of damage, possibly even taking it out there. On top of that, you get extra smoke grenades if you research the grenade package, which of course is quite handy. Can allow you to support an attack by smoking up enemy machine guns or whatever else you need to deal with. Can also be used to support tanks by smoking out anti-tank guns, or just sort of smoking the general path of advance there, giving the cavalry rifleman there some sense of flexibility. And there you go, Thompsons up. And again, it'll be roughly, I think, 2 to 3 Thompsons. And finally, you also got the ability to suppress enemy units. Well, suppress, it's called fire superiority, I believe. It's not quite suppression, though it in many ways functions. There's just one critical difference. Normally, units that are suppressed also take less damage. When you use fire superiority, while the unit has a harder time hitting, has a harder time moving, it does not actually reduce the damage they take. So it has some elements there. Overall, it's really an ability you want to use in one-on-one engagement, particularly versus a longer range. You need to close in on, use fire superiority, then close in, and then if they don't retreat, you then sort of quickly kill them. But like in larger engagements, it may not be, shall we say, quite as useful as other abilities. So it's a bit more of a tricky one in larger engagements. You really want access to the M23 smoke grenade, so that way just, again, smoke support weapons, so just smoke large clumps of infantry, get close to them, and then shoot them down. So a solid assault unit there for the Americans. Has a reasonable degree of flexibility and certainly some skill cap there in that sense, but good usage of it. For example, in conjunction with vehicles with its smoke screen can allow you to easily close in on the enemy, and that way you do a lot of damage with the submachine guns, which is really what you want to be doing with the cavalry rifle. You want to get them up close, and you want to shoot the enemy dead, obviously. Tricky, of course, thing is to keep in mind what your opponents have, like getting close to enemy assault rifle units can be a bit more punished, since they can easily take off a lot of your models before they get too close. And certainly some rifle units like machine guns can also cause problems, though again, on a one-on-one engagement, you use fire superiority that way to close in on them. That way giving you that, shall we say, slight tactical edge you need to actually deal with them. Of course, versus regular rifle units, for the upgrades, whatever, the cavalry riflemen will absolutely eat them for breakfast. So there are some things there to keep in mind, but overall solid unit there for the Americans. Solid unit as part of a very solid, I think, company, the Mechanized Company. And of course, they're just a jolly good old bunch of fun if you do know how to use them. And certainly amongst, I would say, the assault units available in-game for the different factions, they're probably one of the better ones. Reasonably priced, reasonably good set of abilities, and of course, they do have access to either dart truck that's from mobility, and you can even go for a half track to pop them into as well, where they can also, I think, perform quite nicely. So, keeping those details in mind, you can, of course, do a lot of damage to the cavalry riflemen. You also really want to pull off deep flanks with them. You get behind support weapons, machine guns, and tank guns. Quickly clear them out for someone doing a bigger engagement, suddenly appearing out of nowhere to just do a lot of damage to them. With the submachine guns is a very powerful move, and that regard is something you definitely want to consider as well. Otherwise, just consider deep flanks, deep paths. Try to spring them from areas your opponent's not expecting, even in a vehicle. One of your best weapons in this regard is surprise, since it's just more likely to just get close to a lot of damage before your opponent can react. It can also in most cases then fragment a defense, making things even more effective as you then sort of make maybe the main push. So again, very solid unit. Generally though, you don't want, I think, more than 2. You could theoretically go for 3, but I don't think that's going to work out too well, and usually always need to see 2. 1 though is a good number, but 2 does give you, shall we say, a lot good sort of set of assault units to really just put pressure on your opponent. So if you keep those rules in mind, I feel you'll find yourself doing quite well with the Cavalry Riflemen. And, you know, confounding your opponent and frustrating their role as you just put pressure on them with the Cavalry Riflemen, neutralize the units, the defensive elements, and, you know, just threaten to blow up the tanks with anti-tank satchel charges. So there you go, the Propagandacast Lehr, and a bit of a look down the Cavalry Riflemen. Hopefully it has given you some ideas, some insights onto the power of these infantry units and how to get the most out of them. If it has, subscribe, like, share, comment, and of course, as always, please remember to, you know, donate or pledge from Patreon, as that allows me to keep making all of these videos day after day. So thank you all. You all are wonderful audience, and see you all another time. Cheers.